$100 handlebars, grips, and pedals versus $900 bars, grips, stem, and pedals. Does expensive equal better? Let's find out. And thank you to this video's sponsor, SimpliSafe, but more on that in a minute. First up is ripping off my least favorite stock part on the Polygon Cisco D5, the slip-on grips. Taking these on and off has been a nightmare, and they were very uncomfortable. Now that we have a blank slate, both bikes will be getting 800mm wide bars with 25mm rise. The stock bars were 760mm wide with maybe a 10mm rise. The low bike is getting the all-new Trail 1 bars that are very budget friendly, but they're only 3 grams lighter than stock. So the question is, besides the width, will I feel a difference? And for my high bike, I picked up the Fast Flex Enduro carbon bars. These bars are sick and they absorb vibrations with a pivot point with like elastomers or something. And the claim is that I'll be able to ride longer and charge harder. $425 for bars? That's straight up ridiculous. Oh, I'm not finished. For my stem, I'm going with an Industry 9 stem that retails for $155. Then for my grips, I'll be using Ergon GE1 Evo Factory. And I love these grips because they have an ergonomic shape and the rubber is just so good at absorbing bumps. For my grips, I'm going with ODI Ruffian grips. I picked these up on Amazon for $19. But for a stem, I really don't see a reason to upgrade, let alone spend $150. For the low bike, you might have seen that I wasn't using the stock stem. Well, it was pretty much mangled on the inside, probably from a mushroomed out cut steer tube. I better fix that real quick and then I'm gonna use the stock stem off the high bike. But it's time for another Clean for Green Studio Edition. And this is my subscriber, Richard. And if he can install this chainring in under a minute, I'll give him $20. All right,
I like
you ready?
that.
All right, go for it.
All right.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna tell you about this video's sponsor, SimpliSafe. I have some pretty expensive bikes right now, and I'm worried that they could be stolen. I had my race bike stolen out of my garage before, and it was a terrible feeling. But with SimpliSafe, I now have a security system that experts trust. I really like the indoor and outdoor cameras. I put the indoor camera in my garage, so I have eyes on my bikes at all times. Then I installed the wireless outdoor camera outside of my garage. And I really like how it's attached with a strong magnet, so you can easily take it off for charging and adjusting the angle. Oh no, time's running out. Richard, check it out. I saw you walk up to my house.
Oh man, I was trying to sneak in.
The best part is I didn't have to crawl through my attic to hardwire my cameras like I did before. Now, when I'm not home, I know that my bikes are protected.
SimpliSafe on. Home.
Whoa, don't you mean bikes and family?
Right, my bikes and family are protected, especially since I signed up for 24/7 professional monitoring. And SimpliSafe is offering you to save 20% off your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplisafe.com/EvansMTBSaga to learn more. And time.
20 bucks, baby, let's go.
Next up is installing new pedals. And I'll come clean, I haven't used the stock pedals at all this whole series. But I wanted this to be fair, so we bought some cheap and expensive pedals. On my low bike, I'm installing Crank Brothers Stamp 1 pedals that were $36. And I'm installing beautiful black and gold Crank Brothers Stamp 11 pedals that were $300. But I think since these are both stamp pedals, they should be pretty similar, right? everything is installed, and now the only thing left to do is get the bikes on the ground and dial in the cockpits. We're also gonna measure both bars from the ground and make sure that they're equal. But we still have so many questions, like, does this flex bar really absorb bumps? Will I feel much of a difference with this aluminum handlebar? Are the $300 Stamp 11 pedals really worth it? But I can tell you one thing, these polygons now look like trail machines. The high bike now weighs 30.2 pounds, and the total project cost is now a whopping $8,900. The low bike is now 33 pounds. The total cost of the low bike is now $2,800, still well under the $2,000 upgrade budget. But let's see how they stack up against each other. As the trail went on, the high bike was flying. And I was doing my best to keep up, but I was starting to have issues.
Look, the pedal.
My pedals were not that great.
Dude, your pedals are pink. Dude, I know, they're kind of pink, and I really don't like how you can feel the axle in the ball of your foot.
You should have got my pedals, dude. They're so sharp and grippy, but they can tear you up, man. But then we found some braking bumps to really put the bars and grips to the test.
Dude, I barely felt those braking bumps with these bars. That is crazy.
Well, that's easy for you to say. You have a nice fork and carbon wheels. But since the bikes are so different now, I think I need to do the test on just the high bike, but with some science. So I took the high bike to the bumpiest trail that I know, Javelina Trail on South Mountain. And here we go. On the first descent with the fast bars, I felt like they were really snappy and I could hold a line really well. It also didn't feel like the bars were gonna get ripped out of my hands on this really bumpy trail. And finished. After that long bumpy downhill, that forearm burn that I felt is called arm pump, which makes you lose grip strength. The flex bars absorb bumps, so it should help with that. So before the run, I actually tested my grip strength and it came out to 97.5 pounds. Immediately after the fast bars run, and it came out to an average of 105.4 pounds. So it went up. Now I'm gonna do the exact same trail, but with the Trail 1 bars, and I'll use the same grips and stem. Back at the top of the trail, and here we go. I could definitely feel a difference with the alloy Trail 1 bars. And they were pretty stiff feeling, which is crazy to say that carbon bars are actually more flexy than aluminum bars. Coming to the finish line, I definitely felt the forearm burn way more. Right away, I did the grip strength test and found that my grip strength was actually higher now compared to the fast bars. So, the grip strength test really didn't show any results, but I could definitely feel the flex, and it felt good. But I think an average rider doesn't need these. They're probably more for enduro or a downhill racer. That's me. On low bike, the bars were okay and felt pretty stiff. And on my Stamp 1 pedals, I was searching for a little bit more grip. If it was in the budget, I definitely would have spent more on each contact point. But there's really only one thing left to upgrade: the brakes. What is wrong with you? How much did you spend? If you want a sneak preview to these brakes, become a channel member.